Step 3 is doing your pockets. You're going to take both pocket pieces, you're going to keep them together, and you're going to come to the iron. Okay. You're going to do mitred corners just like you did in the practice book. So folding these in half or folding these down in the corner. It's easier if you iron to help keep the corners down, to make that crease while you're stitching. Then fold your top down. Okay, then you're going to do this to all 4 sides. And then I'll meet you at the machine. You're going to take your ironed pocket onto one of your zigzagged fabrics, and you're going to place it before you place it, you're going to pick whatever the top part of your pocket's going to be, and you have to run a permanent stitch on it. Okay, so make sure that from your zigzag, you're set back at 1 on your sewing machine, and you're going to decide what is the top part of your pocket going to be, and you're going to run a straight stitch across the top. Make sure you back stitch at the beginning and end. This stitch is going to show, so you're going to want to make sure that you stitch it as straight as you can. And I'm using a 1/4 seam allowance. And then when you get to the end, it's a lot of fabric, so it's going to sound thick. You're going to hold your reverse button and back stitch so it's there. Now, so you can see it like that. You're going to be able to see that top line on the edge of your bag. The rest of it is going to get pinned and stitched onto your bag. So it's a double layer pocket because most people put heavier items in their pockets, so that's why it's a double layer of fabric. You're going to use the pins that are in your sewing bin, and you're going to want to make sure your pocket's at least 4 inches from the bottom of your bag. If it's not 4 inches, you're going to run into issues later down the road. So I'm using a seam gauge. You move the little bat wings to the 4, and then you're going to pin through all of your fabric. Okay, pinning is going to ensure that your pocket doesn't move when you're stitching the sides. And that your pocket doesn't come unraveled. Okay, then you're going to bring it, you've got it pinned so the sides are down, you're going to take it to your machine. You're going to stitch your pocket down. Now, with the pocket, you're not stitching where you just stitched across the top. You don't want that to happen. You don't want to stitch your pocket closed. So you're going to slide this under. I'm going to take my first pin out. I'm going to zoom in for you. Okay, I'm going to go forward a couple stitches. I'm going to hold the reverse button. And I'm going to stitch it all the way around. When you get to your pin, push your up down button, make sure your needle's in. If you've gone too far, you're going to pull your needle out or your pin out. Put your presser foot back down and then continue to sew. When you get to the corner, just like in the pivot, you're going to put your needle down, you're going to lift your presser foot up, you're going to turn your fabric, put your presser foot back down, and then you're going to stitch across the bottom. Then you're going to pivot to the other corner, and then you're going to go straight up to where you stopped, the top of your pocket. This is what your pocket's going to look like. You're going to make sure you trim all your threads, and you're going to want to come get this checked by me before you move on to the next step.